right, so if you didn't realize that was your warning, but you all knew that we were going to be recording, so that those folks who have classes and maybe are called into work, they can view this and get the information that they need. So, hello everybody. There is absolutely no way I can see everybody in this space, but it is so good to hear all your voices and see all the great energy that that I was feeling as you were all introducing your pets and seeing each other for the first time in many, many months. So welcome everybody. Good evening. For those of you that don't know me, I am Kathleen McGeever, and I'm the chair of the theater department here at NAU. We have a semi-annual majors-minors meeting, and I did a little research. I couldn't find the exact year that we began, but it's almost 30 years that NAU Theater has been doing this semi-annual meeting. So we will have another one in the spring, so be sure to mark that on your calendars. I will get that date out to you all. So this long tradition usually has some things that we like to share, like a video and all sorts of things. But this time that we're in, things are different. Today, though, I would like to start a new tradition and begin that right now. And that is a land acknowledgement. A land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes the unique and enduring relationship that exists between Indigenous peoples and their traditional territories. Why do we recognize the land? Well, we recognize the land as an expression of gratitude and appreciation to those whose territory you reside on, and a way of honoring the Indigenous people who have been living and working on this land from time immemorial. It helps us to understand the long-standing history that has brought us to reside on this land, and it helps us to seek understanding of our place within the history. Land acknowledgements do not exist in the past tense. They are not historical, but rather they are here to build mindfulness of our present. It is also worth noting that this acknowledgement practice is part of Indigenous protocol. So, whose land are we on today? In Flagstaff, we are at the heart of the Colorado Plateau, where the ancient Sinawa and Anasazi people, lived. This land at the foot of our sacred peaks is where we dwell, and we dwell in the land of the Diné, or you might know them as Navajo, Hopi, Havasupai, Kaibab Paiute, and Halupai peoples. And then I was raised in the land of the Chumash, the people of central and southern coastal regions of California. I invite you to type your own land acknowledgement into the chat at this time, as I have already done. We'll take a minute and do that.
Is there a resource, Kathleen, for people to go on the internet to discover that if they don't know?
Yes, if you don't know, you can go into your internet because you have it right there, and you can put in the search, I am looking Indigenous people and then the area in which you live. And a big search will come up. The first thing is always Wikipedia.
Kathleen, what did you say that we could research again?
go into your Google and type Indigenous people and where you're from, and you'll find a listing of the Indigenous people, because Google has everything.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Nathaniel put a link in the chat you might look at. There are 104 of you here, so keep putting that into the chat as we recognize. And if you get the chance, scroll through the list and see. It's quite beautiful. See all these different peoples. So we'll give it another couple minutes and then we'll keep going. But keep putting them in. Thank you for those of you who come in late. I'll repeat it. Came in late, but we are recognizing the land in which we dwell. So it is my distinct pleasure every year to hold this meeting and to welcome everyone back. From our new fresh folk, that's what I'm calling folks. Since we don't have an official name yet that I think freshman needs to change, to our transfer students and returning students. So I want to welcome you all to Fall 2020. And despite the kind of bizarre, weird world that we're all living in, it is so good to be here. And I'm so excited about this semester. And I hope you are as well. But we need to know as best as we can with 104 people here, who is in our audience. So we can't scan the Clifford E. White Theater. But what I thought y'all could do is I will call out the group from Fresh Folk through Seniors. And if you could use your raise hand emoji or thumbs up or something to show on your space which group that you are when I call it out. So would all our brand new fresh folk raise your hand or put a thumbs up for us right now? That is so great. I could see the running side on the participants. It's easier to see everybody's hands going up. How about our new incoming transfer students? Awesome. Awesome. Welcome everybody that is new to NAU Theater. We're so excited that you're here. This is one of our largest classes in years coming in, and so we're very, very excited to get to meet all of you. Would all of our sophomore students raise their hands? Wonderful. And, and it's all right if you really do it there, Chuck. And our juniors. Awesome. And last but not least, our seniors. That's exciting. I want to take a minute right now and congratulate by doing my little applause to our seniors, and you all might want to do that as well. Think about, they have made it. They have made it. They're in their senior year, and we're so glad that we've been able to go along your journey with you. So we're so excited to see what this year is going to pertain, and after NAU as well. So welcome and thank you. So I'm going to now ask, I got to put my own hand down. Oh, it did. Very good. I'm now going to ask the faculty to, in the order that I sent out earlier, if you would introduce yourselves. We're going to begin with Christina, who is recorded. And before Ben plays her recording, I do want to tell you that Christina would have really wanted to be here, but a family challenge came up, nothing too serious, but she had to be with her bambina, so Stella. So she did a pre-recorded video. Take it away, Ben.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Christina Gutierrez Dennehy. I'm really sorry that I can't be here in person on Zoom with you all tonight, but unfortunately, I am dealing with a sick 2-year-old. That's her. There's baby tax for those of you who are fans. That's Miss Stella. Anyway, I just wanted to take a couple seconds to introduce myself. I am your theater history professor. I usually also teach senior capstone and modern and contemporary drama, and some of you will get to take script analysis with me in the spring. I'm really excited about that. I hope that you have a fantastic semester. If you have any questions specifically about capstone or your junior level writing requirement, I am a resource for that. I will also be directing a Zoom-based all online play in the spring. It's probably Fefu and her friends, but we're still waiting on electronic rights for that. So hold tight for that announcement, and I am so excited to see you all and to work with y'all this summer. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Okay, I get to go next. Hi, I'm Ben Alexander. I am an associate professor of practice here in the department. I teach lighting, sound, media, stage management, among other things, drafting and model making this semester as well. I get to push lots of buttons, physical and otherwise.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Delancey. I'm the technical director for the department. I run the scene shop, and I sort of organize. Yeah. Hello, whoever that was. It's nice to hear you. Yeah. And I keep the production sort of moving forward in a general sense. And I teach stagecraft. So I might have some of you in my class right now, and maybe I'll have some next semester. I look forward to it. I'm glad you're here.
Let's see, Jen, you're next.
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Jen Peterson, and I am a senior lecturer here in the Department of Theater, and I teach Theater 101, script analysis, intro to design, costume construction, and I will be doing some designing this year. So I look forward to seeing you in class and in the shops.
Hey folks, it's Kate Ellis. I am professor of costume design, construction. I teach stage makeup, puppetry. This year, right now I'm teaching Intro to Design. In the spring, I will be teaching a co-convened 2 sections of scenic design and costume design, since we were not able to replace our scenic design position. And I will also be wearing the hat of scenic designer along with Jen, actually.
Nancy.
See, that's you.
Hi. I'm the costume shop manager, and sometimes I teach costume construction, but not this semester. So I'll see some of you later on. Bye.
Rebecca.
Hello, my name is Professora, Rebecca Professora Whitehurst, and I am Assistant Professor of Practice, teaching acting, voice, movement, all things related to performing, and potentially playwriting next semester, which you guys need to sign up for because it's going to be the jam. Also, I'd like to introduce you guys to the Studio Theater.
Yay!
Nathaniel, it's your turn.
I gotta follow the Studio Theater. Anyways, my name is Nathaniel Johnson. I'm Assistant Professor of Practice in Directing and Acting. So I teach the directing classes and some of the acting classes. And I also direct for the main stage. I'll be directing Clue this semester in the fall. Thanks.
UET.
And UET, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. And my video does not want to click off. There you go. Bradley put in the chat, I'm just going to say, yes, the map is still up. So stop by and see it if you get a chance to before Mark paints over it. So very good. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to everybody. This year might be different than all the years before that have fallen in my long career in higher education. We had an extraordinary spring, and I think other people in the university may not realize how important place is to the ritual of theater and how we value the place as well as the making of theater. And while we all had our little area, or this time that we needed to mourn the loss of what could be, leaving our classes, many of you left for spring break and didn't return. Even our new students, many of you left your old classrooms and didn't return. And we left a show, as Bradley noted, in midstream, and it's still there, with the half-painted floor and a half-built set. But what I was buoyed by, what I really was instilled with hope and for the future of what we're going to do, is in watching your work, both on Zoom with our continued rehearsals with Sense and Sensibility, and what the faculty shared with me that you did in classes. I really felt that you were able to make this virtual space part of your ritual. And I think that is to be applauded, greatly applauded, because I'm not sure this is going to go away altogether. People are finding great creativity with it, for example. So it is a space and it is a place for ritual. And I'm so excited to see what you do, what you can do with this space. Those resiliences remind me of the power that we have to transcend as theater artists. And as you leave NAU, you're going to be making new physical homes where the ritual of theater becomes a place to practice. So being versatile and finding ways to do that are going to just help you that much better as you leave. So I am happy and I am hopeful and I am looking forward to seeing what we're going to be doing in this next year. So in my short opening here, I want to ask you to do a task. We are going to examine the power of theater this year and why we do theater. This quote, as many of you know, I love quotes. So this quote speaks to me. It's from the Actors Theater Workshop. And what is the power of theater? The dramatic unraveling of the mystery of the human predicament provokes thought in the audience. The power to provoke thought is the great power of theater, The theater is a platform upon which society must examine itself. This examination should not be threatening to anyone because thinking is natural. And this is a time that we need the power of theater and the power of the arts. It's not a mistake that everybody is trying to go to what they can find online, that all the theaters found ways to show that there were gallery openings and museums were opening their virtual doors for everybody, because we need the arts. We need the power of theater. I would like to create a mind map, and we're going to do an exercise today. It'll take me a little bit to put together, but I'm going to give this mind map to our faculty member, Jen Peterson, and ask her to share it with the committee she's on about re-envisioning NAU. And I think it will be a powerful piece that she can use to start a conversation. What is a mind map? A mind map is a diagram for representing tasks, words, concepts, or items linked to and arranged around a central concept or subject using a non-linear graphical image-based representation. So in your chat tool, I would like you to answer these two questions. One, the A under number 1 is a clarification if you need it. But number 1, what drew you to theater? In other words, what is it to you? And number 2, what is the power of theater to you? And I would like us all to do this, faculty included. And we will save this chat, and then I will take this and create a mind map that I will share with you and specifically with Jen. So if everybody would do that now, that would be great. And if you are stumped and can't think of things right now, you can email this to me and I will add it. please keep answering as we go. Again, there are a lot of people and I want to make sure you all get a chance to do that. But we also want to leave a bulk of this meeting for Q&A. So I'm going to keep going. And we're going to go through how the meeting will go today, the rest of the meeting, the informational meeting. So I think Ben has something to share, which he will do in a moment. But on the YouTube channel, which Ben will bring up in just a minute, there is a video library that we are creating, and I've tried to send emails to everybody to look at those. So Zoom is kind of an interesting format, and it's hard to sit there and have people talk at you. So what we are hoping to do is to create this library of information that you can visit. Most of the videos, with the exception of the audition video, are extremely short, 1 to 4 minutes in length. And so far we have a lot of information that you would be hearing here at this meeting, including the introduction of our 3 amazing student organizations and information about how to be NAU Flex, and information, like I said, about auditions, productions. Ben has one with all kinds of important things. Mark has a virtual tour of the department for those of you who will be new and aren't on campus yet. It'll be helpful. So there are more. Kate has one about performance or design technology emphasis, and Rebecca about performance emphasis, and we will be putting theater studies up and more as we go. But visit that channel right there, and Ben's going to go there, and you'll see this great library, and he's going to go through that. And like I said, throughout the year we'll be adding more little chapters or little books. The other place you can find out information is from the letter I sent to you, which is also on our Google Drive, and then also on our website. And you will also find information from the people that you met today, and Ben's taking us through for you to go to the student resources, new students, there's a letter, and it did go to you in an email, but many of our new students didn't know when it went out that they need to check their NAU email. And it's probably deep down in that email at this point. So right now, there's still a little bit that we haven't covered yet that you might need to navigate the beginning of the year. So until we can get those videos up, we're going to take just 1 minute for some more information, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A so that you can ask us questions. When we get to that point, if you would use the chat, and Ben will monitor it, because 102 people are a lot of people to talk, and Zoom only goes to the one with the loudest voice. So, all right, so Mark is going to talk first, then Kate, then Jen, and then if there's anything I've forgotten, faculty.
Hello, everyone. So I'm going to talk real quickly about a couple of things. The first is, for those of you who are familiar with the green room / locker room, that is not going to be available to individuals this semester. And if you have things in there, you should schedule an appointment with me to get that out of there so you can get it. I'll give everybody a couple weeks, and then I'm going to have to empty those out. For the organizations that have things in there, those can stay in there. You just need to coordinate with me if you need to access those things. That room is just, there's no ventilation. It's so small, so we just can't have people in there. And if you need to access it, let me know. The other thing is a little bit of safety information for you. You guys are hopefully familiar with your NAU Go app. There it is. I signed on as a student. It's a little disappointed that I don't have classes right now. On that thing, you can find out a lot of quick information about the protocols that are in place, including needing to wear a mask at all times when you're in a public place, keeping 6 feet away from people, washing your hands, all that stuff you've probably heard a ton about. But any questions or information you'd like to know about how the university is handling the situation are there. You can go to this page and do your, maybe some of you have already done this from time to time, you can do your health check and make sure that you're not going to be getting people sick. It takes about 30 seconds. It wants to know if you have a temperature and if you've not been feeling well. And then also lastly, please look at the overflow testing site. You can get a free COVID-19 test right here on campus over by the Starbucks where you might, I'm not even sure if the Starbucks is open, but you might be trying to go over there and get your coffee. It takes about 5 minutes to schedule an appointment. I have one tomorrow at 1, and they give you a little sheet like this so you can take it with you when you go, or you can, I have this printout because I'm old, you can get it on your phone and probably show it on your phone. The Starbucks at the Wedge at the Student Union, so right by our building if you're familiar with where we are. So you should check, yeah, in the field house, there you go. So you should be checking that out, get the test, make sure you're not getting anybody sick. And at any point, if you're not feeling well, stay home and just notify the people you need to notify about that. We are taking a lot of precautions for production and class, and we have your best interest in mind to create the safest environment we can for all your activities. So remember that. If you have any questions about safety in any regard, whether it's this or other issues, just contact me. And I think that's it. Thanks.
Hey folks, I'm going to talk to you really briefly about the Student Handbook. The Student Handbook is available online, and it has all the information you need about all things within the department that pertain to you. Everything from student organizations, expectations surrounding classes and labs and all of that. You are expected, particularly for fresh folk, as Kathleen has said, you are expected to read it. And I don't remember, and Kathleen, you can correct me if you still have to sign something that says that you have actually read it. And there's nothing more I can think of to say there. And I just really quickly want to say, Emily Ralston, you're on the page I'm on, and I love your face picture for your I'm not on video.
All right. Hi, guys. So I'm going to talk to you today just briefly about student resources. There are several different resources across campus. Some of the ones that you probably will use the most are health services. They are there for your physical as well as your mental health. So if things start to get overwhelming, you might want to check and see what they can do to help you out. The Dean of Students is located over in the Student Union, and obviously by email. And they can help you out with things like extended absences and things like that. They're great to work with. They can also help you get into that counseling service if you find yourself in a time of crises. All right, the English department does have a writing center for all of those who need to work on their writing. I'm not exactly sure how that's working right now, but please go ahead and check it out. They've got different hours and times. I'm sure they're doing them virtually and things like that, but they can definitely proofread and help you with your writing materials. And then of course, we have the Student Support Services, the SSS. All of these, you can just type them into the NAU search bar and they will pop up with the information so that you can get a hold of them. And they help with study groups, getting involved with things and stuff like that. So if there's other campus events or campus clubs that you are interested in, they will help out with that. Also advising, I know that most of our fresh people are over at Gateway right now, and you guys will be there until the second semester of your sophomore year. But please remember that we in the department are also an amazing resource for what you need. Sometimes they're not fully clear on what you need as a major or a minor here in the theater department. So please feel free to ask us for help if you need it, as well as anything else like that. Don't forget, ITS can help you with BB Learn. It's obviously being used a lot more than it used to be. So make sure you talk to them. All right, thanks.
Okay, is there anything I forgot, faculty?
Yeah, We usually tell everybody to check the call board on a daily basis. And since maybe the physical call board is not necessarily accessible to everyone all the time right now, we do have a digital call board on our website, which I'm going to do a lot more work on trying to keep that thing updated. This goes for our student orgs as well. So presidents and your boards, if you have information that needs to be updated or posted on our website concerning student organizations, please contact me ASAP, and I will try and make sure that happens. And so once again, make sure that you're checking the digital call board on a daily basis.
Go ahead, Mark.
One quick thing I forgot to mention, and that is anyone who's involved in house management, you should know that that's going to be something I'm going to be in charge of. Is that the right word? I'm going to be organizing.
Supervising.
Supervising, thank you. So if you're a house manager or interested in house managing, which we will be doing even if we don't have in-person audiences, because we'll be looking at online streaming versions and needing people to help with managing the audience for that. So if that's your area, Christina has moved on to bigger and brighter things. I'm not sure, more academic things. And because this is sort of related to some of the safety issues that we have right now, I'm going to be looking over house management. So that's me if you have any questions about that. That's it.
Thank you, Mark. Last call. Okay, now we're going to open up to questions, and Ben is going to monitor the chat for me. And then I will direct to the faculty to try, or if it's a student org question or something, to those folks. So be ready to unmute and do what you need to do, but don't unmute and undo your picture yet because of the bandwidth that we're dealing with.
Looks like Claire, you were the first one to get your hand up there. Why don't you go on with your question?
Hi. So based on the information that I have received, we are operating under the assumption that 3 of the 4 main stages will be in person, correct?
Sort of.
Okay.
And by that I mean, we are investigating, and at this point looking likely that we'll be live streaming the performances, but that rehearsals will be high flex, like the classes, because they are a class. They will be spaced out. They will be doing all the things that we have to do as we move from remote into high flex.
Okay, well, I have like a second part to that question. For performers in main stages, will they be socially distancing during their blocking and wearing masks during performances?
That's the plan.
Okay, thank you.
In addition to that, Claire, right now we've already started production work on East of the Sun, West of the Moon, and we're really investigating how can we do this with digital media as well. And so that is going to be something that maybe we do pre-recorded pieces that are mixed in with live. There's a whole lot of really cool stuff that's happening right now in terms of what digital theater can be, and so we're on board with all of that.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, let's see, Kathleen, there was a question from Carly down here about how 113 and 213s are going to work. Mark, do you want to tackle that one?
Yes.
Yeah, I will. So 113 and 213 are all the 13s. You know, the 313s and 413s perhaps are a little bit more individual in how they work, and they tend to be case-by-case basis. 113 and 213, we are still having production. We are going to still have people working on shows for those positions. In my particular area, and talking with Kathleen, we'll probably open up the rehearsal period to satisfy some of the 113 jobs so that people can help with some of the additional things that need to happen during rehearsal, like monitoring entrances and exits and things like that, helping stage managers and ASMs. So if you're in a 113 or 213, check with your area advisor, and they will tell you specifically how they are handling the situation for your particular class. If you're in 113 with Jen, you're probably really in 113 with me, which I think we've already gone over in class. But everyone else, I think the 113 you're in is the person you should contact or the 213 to make sure you know what their plan is, because it's a little different for each area. And also, maybe Ben was about to say this, there's a couple of library questions down there that I don't know who should answer that.
I did answer a little bit. We're working on it is all, and just stay tuned, everybody, for who's the supervisor and how we're going to deal with it. Again, it's a small room, so we're trying to solve that.
Cool. Let's see. Shay Turner, you've got your hand up. What's your question?
My question was basically related to what Carly asked about, which was, but I guess additionally, how is that working with people who need to be remote and stuff like that? Is there any flexibility there?
Kate, why don't you, yeah.
I'll take that. In the costume shop, and I've talked to the students that are in costume construction. In the costume shop, everything is going to be done remotely. All supplies will be provided. All instruction will be happening in HyFlex, and it'll be project-based. And students will be in the costume shop. Students will be assigned to a show that they will participate in remotely, but it'll be a very limited way, just because of the way productions are going to happen. And one of the things that Jen and I and Nancy have been talking about with the more advanced students and the capstone students for designing this semester is how we can maintain safety in the costume shop. There's a lot of literature out there about safety in the shop, and it's very hard to maintain. It's virtually impossible to do the work we do in any kind of normal way, because it is close contact, close personal contact. And so we're limiting the number of people that will be in the shop to maintain safety. And so everybody will have projects that they're doing that are developing the skills that will be used in the shop, but they will not actually be working in the shop. And that's for me. With other areas, that's something that you'll have to be working with on a one-on-one basis with the supervisor for that area and that class.
Just so everybody knows, all of your faculty here are not only getting information and protocol and policy from what happens with NAU and the university, but we're also well connected out into the professional world. There's been a lot of discussion on all of our forums about how do we do this? How do we do this safely? And so we're not only listening to what NAU and the university has to say about how we teach class, about how we function inside of the university, but we're also looking at how do we do theater safely. And specifically, we're looking for information from USITT, from ATHA. The Event Safety Alliance is another one. They've released the Event Safety Guide. All of this is information that is available for everybody out on the web, but it is material that we're looking at as well. Let's see, Paige, you had a question. What's your question?
Yes, hello, hi. I was really curious about how the D-Lab is going to work, because I was really hoping to get a credit in there so I could graduate. But if that's not the case, then like I'll figure something else out. But what is the process with that? Is that still going to be open? Social
Okay, I'll tackle that one because that's my room. Funny enough, last semester I was like trying to like dig people out of the woodwork to help out in the D-Lab, and this semester there's like lining up at the door to get in. At this point, the D-Lab, depending upon what university policy says, but right now the D-Lab will be open for homework hours. The D-Lab has been rearranged. According to social distancing policy, we have removed most of the computers that were in there so that we still have 2 of them in there. They can remain 6 feet apart. All the drafting tables have been rearranged so that room can accommodate a lower number of people, but I still want to have the space available. And currently I already have several D-Lab attendants who are going to be doing their lab hours in the design lab already. Paige, email me. Let's see if we can come up with something different. I think that there is still some ways that that you could be of assistance, especially since you need the credit already as well. But we'll figure it out. How's that?
That, or I'll take Theater 101.
Oh yeah, do that. Jen would love that.
Don't do it. You'll
awesome.
hate it. Hate it.
And there was a question from Catherine a bit ago. I don't know if you saw it.
Let's see, library
When are
production
the production
assignments.
assignments finalized and crew head?
Production assignments for this season have already been finalized. In fact, that's something that we do in the spring. There is a production application that goes along with that that's in the spring. And so we have already filled our production teams in terms of like stage managers and ASMs, assistant design work, that sort of thing. Most of those have already been filled for this year. If anything comes up, I will make sure to let everyone know. And that's one of those things that I need to get posted out onto our digital call board. So look for that information at that point. Hopefully I will be able to get to that next week. My plate is real full, y'all. So trying to dig through a lot of that and make web updates is not necessarily the easiest thing to do with our website. So I will try and make sure that's updated by next week. Okay.
Catherine, also, if you're asking like what assignment you're doing, it's already been posted and there is a video about it on that YouTube channel.
It was more because like for my show, since I'm the stage manager for Clue, it only was showing James as my ASM. So it was more if I was going to have another one for like positions that I didn't see on that list that was sent out to us.
So most of those positions are responding to applications that were submitted last spring. And what we found was that we're real short in the stage management area. Hey, I'm going to throw a plug out there for my stage management class coming up in the spring, Theater 363. If you want to get involved with that, there are some prerequisites to get into that class. You do not have to have the stage management class to be an ASM. In fact, those of you who are as yet undecided on emphasis and really trying to decide whether you want to stay in theater studies or design tech or performance, stage management is a great spot because it allows you to work with all of the elements, both performance and design and technical. And so if that's something that you would like to get involved with, please register for my class. And Catherine, if it comes to it and we find out that we might need an extra person, an extra ASM for the production, well, then we can certainly, I'll make the announcement right now. If anybody is interested in that sort of thing, send me an email. I'm sure my inbox is going to start pinging off the hook right now. But that's something that we can look at for certain for the coming year. Okay. Cool. Let's see. James Wallace, you're up next.
Hi.
There we go.
I have a question about what the disinfection protocol would be if we are in person for classrooms and stuff.
The university has some policy that should be on the jacks, our back. If it isn't, we can post some things out there. We're gonna need our own policy if it's not enough. So Mark, do you want to take it from there?
Sure. You're asking about like disinfecting in particular or just like for class?
Yeah, like for classrooms and
Right.
stuff.
So the facilities people are engaged in what is described as a more rigorous schedule of cleaning classrooms, although that doesn't mean it's necessarily happening between classes. They have added a number of hand sanitizers around the room for people who enter and exit places, which should be used. The rooms themselves, the capacities have been dropped way down to about a quarter to a third or maybe a fifth of what the room's capacity was before, depending on what we all and they decided was a safe number. And you will be required to keep your mask on in all classrooms at all times. So it's pretty, and there's signage around reminding you, like going through hallways and up and down stairways in general, which, you know, stay on the right. And inside of most doors to the building, there are hand sanitizers now. They're not necessarily in each classroom. So like the D lab or something like that does not have one outside of it. But hopefully what will happen is your instructor will have like the door open for you. If you use the restrooms, those are being monitored with soap and stocked more than maybe in the past, if you're familiar with it. There's been a shortage or something like that. So all of that, they've upped their participation in keeping that sort of stuff available. If you notice or feel like a situation is unsafe, then let your instructor know, and they can do their best. Like, I know we don't have hand sanitizers outside of the CEW right now. So that's something we'll be working on. But if you see something that doesn't feel safe, let us know. The big thing is, nobody wants anybody to get sick. The university doesn't want you to get sick, and we as human beings don't want to be responsible for getting people sick. So we're doing our best. If you see something that you don't feel comfortable with, say the word. We'll try to get it addressed.
Mark, while you're on here, there is a question down here about anyone who may test positive and contact tracing. And I know that you've been in league with everyone here at the university about how that's going to work. Maybe you could give us a little more information about that.
Yeah, you can see this stuff exists on the JAXR back page. If someone is tested positive, you are supposed to notify your teachers and any bosses or employers you have, and stay home at that point. And then if you are tested positive, which means you probably took a test here on campus, those folks will take care of if they're doing any kind of tracing. It depends a little bit on the number, I imagine, because if the number gets up there, they can't really do contact tracing. So if it's a small number, they may attempt to do it. I haven't seen any definitive answer on that. They will certainly ask you who you've been around and try to contact them to get them tested as well.
But Mark, last I heard they're working with the county to do contact tracing.
Okay, there you go.
Cool.
There's a lot of information changing from day to day, so that's the latest then.
For everybody, the JAXR back website should have everything with the most up-to-date information the university is sharing concerning all this information. So make sure you're checking that thing on a daily basis. And Mark is absolutely correct about those apps. That is a way that you can monitor what's happening on campus as well. Let's see, Cassie Friedman, you had a question.
Hi. Okay, I'm a freshman this year, so I know like almost nothing about the program. So I was wondering if there's still going to be like a club or any extracurricular thing that's happening other than productions, and how I can find information about that.
Why don't the orgs take that? They have protocol, but do you want to?
Yeah, let's see. USITT, anybody want to jump in on answering that one to start with?
I can.
Awesome. Thanks, Claire.
Hi. So I am the chair for USITT, which stands for United States Institute for Theater Technology. I am one of 3 of the clubs associated with the theater department at NAU. We kind of focus on behind the scenes work, so like designing and technology and things like that. So we are going to be we're participating in the club fair tomorrow from 10 to 2 p.m. And if you go to the club fair online, the NAU club fair, you can find us, and you can find a Zoom link where you can just hop on, ask us any questions. At least one member of our board will be there. The board members could do a little wave emoji. That would be awesome. Or
Cool.
just actually wave. Thank you.
How about AZP?
Hello. I am Matthew. I'm the president of AZP. We are also going to be meeting virtually this year until we are able to meet in person, and then we'll be doing the whole flex thing. We meet on Thursdays at 5:30, and we will be at the virtual club fair on August 28th, so next week. And so at that club fair, you can do the same thing that Claire just said. You can hop onto the Zoom link, and one of our board members will be there to let you know when our first virtual meeting will be, what we'll be doing for the year, things like that.
Cool. How about rep from APO?
Hi, I'm Galen. I'm the president of Alpha Psi Omega. You can't actually join APO until you are a sophomore, but we go by a point system. So as long as you're super involved in the department and do a bunch of stuff, I don't really know how it's going to work this year, but we'll see. Then hopefully you can join next year.
Awesome. Also, Cassie, on our website, there is information about all three of our student organizations. And there are some links there. I believe they lead out to Facebook pages. So I think, so student organizations, make sure all of your information is up to date. And if you need to update information, let me know. Cool.
Also on the YouTube channel, we have
That's right.
1 minute till the meeting is over. So do we have one more question?
We have one more. Let's do Marie. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
I am supposed to be doing prop management for Clue, and I was just wondering how that's all gonna work.
Talk to Mark.
Cool.
Yeah, we assume we will be doing some type of onstage production. The audience may be only online, but so there will be actors, there will be things handling. So there will be work to do. It probably will be a little different than in the past, but you definitely should still keep your calendar open and ready to perform that job. Specifically, how we do it will depend a little bit on the situation in the world and Nathaniel's genius in dealing with it.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thumbs up. So I'm sure that the time together here is not nearly enough to answer all your questions. You can reach out to all of the faculty, to myself, and we will set up Zoom meetings or chat on phone or chat on email and answer these questions for you. Before we go, I have two things I want to say. One is there are about 5 people who emailed me in the middle of this meeting that for some reason with their password and everything couldn't get in. So I'd like to ask the faculty and all the students here, the 96 remaining people, to share with them that this is recorded and that as soon as we're able to download it and do what we need to do, we're going to send a link out for the people to look at it and get some answers. So please share that widely if you would. And the other thing is we've set up 2 meetings that are separate, one for incoming freshmen and one for transfer students. If you were an internal transfer, meaning you started as another major and now you're a theater major, come to the transfer meeting. Even if you're a few credits shy of being a sophomore or whatnot, come to the transfer meeting. That'll be probably more helpful for you. So I sent that out in an email today. I'm sorry for all the emails. And I will send it out again as we get closer. One is this week and one, or next week, and one is the week after that. So thank you, everybody. I can't wait till we get to see some of you 6 feet away and also on virtual world. So, all right, I will end the meeting after I save everything. So everyone have a great night. Bye-bye.